So, hello everyone. Now, first of all, congratulations Wales on advancing to the semi-finals of the European Soccer Championships against Belgium. Nice game, good game on your part. Of course, for me it would be nice to see Finland there one time, but let's hope that will happen someday. So, it's the day 5 of the Go Giver Challenge. Now, actually the time is 1 a.m. Saturday, so I missed this video by 1 hour. But there's one good reason for that one. Now, had I done this video, let's say 8 p.m. on Friday, I would have told you some things about my wife's business, blah blah blah, how this thing has rubbed off to my wife, since of course she has listened to me taking these videos. We have discussed these ideas, these laws of the Go-Giver movement and so on, and that has resulted into many magnificent things regarding my wife, for my wife and for my wife's business. Now, I actually thought today's law would have been about that one. But then later on the evening, when we discussed it more and more, I realized that it's about something totally different. Now, let's review first the things what happened during this week, because actually I had no idea what would happen during this week. I do know some amazing things have happened, and I do mean amazing. I would never have guessed what would happen to me during this week. And it's quite big. It's quite big. Now, first of all, on Monday, I had the first law. I have to read this one from the PDF that I printed out from the Go-Giver website. And the first law was the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Sounded quite simple, but it was quite hard to actually implement into your life. But I figured that would be somewhat easy. The law of compensation for Tuesday was more difficult, and it states, the law of compensation, your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Now, this one was a bit more tricky, but already during my morning shower, not afternoon or late evening shower, during my morning shower I realized that these videos that I'm making basically help more and more people. If someone has an access to the internet and to a computer, they might see this video, and basically I would be helping them also. So that law was quite easy, as well as the first law, to grasp at least. Now, the Wednesday's law, the law of influence, the one I talked to you about networking, that was more difficult because I thought that would actually be the most difficult one for me, since I'm not good at networking, not good at all. Well, that went by, so no problems there. Basically no problems there. On Thursday there was the law of authenticity. You have to be authentic, you have to be yourself. The most valuable gift you have to offer to people is you. That was quite simple. No problems there. All the things were basically something that you could implement into your life. Not easily, but somewhat. I'll come back to that one later. Now, today's law, on Friday, I have to read this one so that you will understand it better, is the law of receptivity. Sounds easy, right? Well, the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. So basically, to be able to give to others more in value, you have to be able to receive things. Now that seems easy. And it seemed so easy that I thought this morning that, okay, let's see, now I have been producing value in scale, I have been networking, and I have been authentic. Today something great will happen. Yes, it did for my wife and for her business. Many things happened. Now, yeah, you can always say this was coincident. You can always say that. I have to agree, it would be the easy explanation, but some magnificent things have happened for me and my wife during this week. We have actually found out many new ways, many interesting ideas for my wife's business. But today's law was not about that. Or yesterday's law, as I told you, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm outside. I had to come outside since everyone else is sleeping. I don't want to disturb them with my speak here. Blah, 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 blah. But I had some interesting ideas today. Now, you would say that the law of receptivity is quite easy. I think in the book, in one way, it was. But I found out that this actually is the hardest law for me. What do I mean by that? Now, I have to give credit to my wife for making me understand this law. About 10 p.m. as we were readying ourselves to watch the game, soccer game between Wales and Belgium, I discussed this law with her, and then I had epiphany. I realized what it was all about. Now, the law of receptivity sounds easy, but it's not, at least for me. Now, to explain this, I have to go back in time, a few years. Now, I am a person who, in my opinion at least, I like to help other people. If I hear that someone is moving, I usually volunteer. I say that, hey, I'm available that day, I will come, I will carry some things. I'm quite well built, let's say. I'm heavy, I'm well structured, I can carry things around. And if nothing else, I can act as a counterweight for some things. Good at that. My body mass is well suited for that one. But even though if I'm ready to go and help my friends move to another location, carry some things around, I'm not ready to request someone to help me to move. This has been illustrated several times in my life by the fact that I actually moved by myself for the most part. First of all, I moved by myself from Rovaniemi to Sweden to the town of Luleå, and from there I moved to Boden, which is a town nearby in Sweden, by myself. I didn't request any help from my friends or anything, and then from Boden once again back to Luleå, and then 2008 I moved from Luleå back to Rovaniemi by myself. I didn't ask anyone to help me. Now, why did I do that? Simple. I didn't want to stay in dead to someone else. Basically, it means if I request or tell someone of my friends that I'm moving, could you please help me? They come to help me, to assist me. I would feel indebted to these persons, which means that I don't tell them. I don't request their help, and I actually avoid telling them about my move at all, so that they wouldn't have the chance to offer their help to me, because in case they did, let's say they actually did offer to help me move, and 2 years later they would be moving, and I wouldn't be able to help them back in the moving. I would feel terrible. Now, when I go and help someone of my friends, I'm not actually thinking that they should repay me in any way. I just want to give them my help. But why am I not willing to take the same help from them? That was the question that rose when I was discussing with my wife. Now, I have been talking to a few people about this late on Friday evening. Thank God they answered the phone, and thank God they were also watching the Belgium-Wales game. And actually they agreed. They agreed with me that yes, that is typical me. I usually help people, but I don't want to get helped. Why? Because I feel that I'm indebted. I don't feel like I'm worthy of their help. Who knows? Where does it come from? I don't know. I really truly don't know. However, now when and once again, I did listen to the law number 5, the law of receptivity, this morning. I was wondering about it, and late on Friday evening, 10 p.m, I started to realize what it was all about. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually the exact same thing as it was meant in the Go Giver book. I do think it's somewhat there, but do not quote me on that one. So, the law of receptivity, the way to giving is by accepting receival. Something like that. I have to read it from the PDF. So, the law of receptivity, the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Well, I think that is my Achilles heel. Let's say I'm moving someplace, I'm not open to receiving help from my friends in the moving part. I am always willing to help my friends to move, blah blah blah, but if it's something that someone would have to do for me, I never accept it. Why not? I don't have a clue. It has to do something with my internal thinking that I'm not worth it, or something like that. I really have to work with that one. So what this week has demonstrated to me is that, okay, first of all these laws, as I told you earlier, I have listened to this audiobook several times. I think this is the 4th or 5th time, and actually you could say that I know all the laws by heart already coming into this week. But once I started to implement them into my life, everything changed. Now, not sure how is it for you, but in Finland we usually study a few languages in the elementary school and so on. And in language studies, usually, sometimes it's referred as passive language skill and active language skill. The passive language skill is the one where you can understand when someone speaks and you can read the language. And that's something that you just take in. But when you're actually asked to do something with the language, like speak or write, you realize that you don't know anything. And when the flip switches, the language becomes active in your brain some way, and that is the time when you can actually start to speak the language. You can actually start to write something, write some proper sentences and so on, and that's when the language becomes active language in your brain. Now, the same thing happened for me in the Go Giver Challenge and the Go Giver book. Now, I knew all those laws by heart, basically. I could tell you them, I could reference to them, but I didn't know how to implement them into my life. Still don't, in few cases, in few of them. I still have to work with those, but now, when I have actually tried to implement them into my life, it has totally transformed the whole concept of Go Giver. Now, especially this fifth law. I did not understand the law of receptivity at all as it was meant to be understood. It was first when I tried to implement it, I didn't grasp it, and late in the evening, after a few discussion moments with my wife, I truly understood what it's about. So basically, this means that in the future, I have to learn to accept help from my friends. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's the help to do something, fix the car, fix something. Not sure about your friends, but I have few friends who are good with the electronics, few friends who are good with the electricity, plumbing, blah blah blah. Maybe I should ask their help when I'm doing something. Especially if they're good at it. If it's their profession, they should be really, really competent in that one. But still, so far, I haven't requested their help because I don't want to be indebted for these people. Now, this is the place for me to grow, to have some growth, and to go outside my comfort zone. And truly it will be outside my comfort zone. Now, the funny thing was, when I was discussing this with my wife, as I told you earlier, several times at least, she listened to my arguments about why I don't want to get help from my friends, and she was thinking that no one in their right mind could think like that. Well, I had a few phone calls, as I told you earlier, and it seems I'm not the only one. So perhaps this is why the law of receptivity is actually one of the Go Giver laws. And with that, I have to say, this week was amazing. If you want to know more, go to the Go Giver website. Please read more about the Go Giver and try to understand. Also, if you have some questions, if you have some ideas, blah blah blah, comments into these videos, please leave them below into the show notes and so on. I will be doing review of my progress in the Go Giver manner every Sunday from now on. Tomorrow there will be a video about the Hal Elrod and the Miracle Morning book, and the podcast, Go Giver podcast, where Hal Elrod and the Miracle Morning was presented. I think it was the number 23, and they were talking about Jim Rohn, a motivational speaker. And of course, as well as I did with the Miracle Morning, I purchased a few books from Jim Rohn, but more about that tomorrow. Now I will say thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for watching the Go Giver Challenge. For me, at least, the Go Giver Challenge was eye-opening. Truly eye-opening. I think some good things will happen to my life as a result of this. And yes, so as I told you earlier, 1 p.m. in Finland. I have lots of mosquitoes while I'm all moving, wafting. There are truly a lot of mosquitoes here outside now. 1 a.m. Saturday morning, 1 hour late to be the Friday challenge, but still I consider this as the Friday challenge. Now I will go back inside, go to sleep. Tomorrow you will have some more videos about motivational speakers, mostly Jim Rohn, and about the Miracle Morning and so on. So, good night. Thank you for this week. Bye.